It seems that one of Canon's most highly anticipated releases has quietly vanished from the company's immediate roadmap, the Canon R7 Mark III. Once expected to headline Canon's APS-C lineup in 2025, the R7 III was widely rumored to push the limits of what a crop sensor camera could achieve, offering next-generation performance for both photographers and hybrid creators. But according to multiple reports, its release has now been delayed, possibly into 2026. And while there's been no official explanation from Canon, this delay might reveal much more about the company's long-term strategy than it initially appears. To understand the significance of this, it helps to remember why the original Canon EOS R7 made such a strong impact. It became an instant favorite among wildlife photographers, sports shooters, and video creators for one main reason. It offered professional-grade features in a compact, affordable body. With a 32.5-megapixel APS-C sensor, Canon's trusted dual-pixel CMOS-AF-II system, 30 frames per second burst shooting, and oversampled 4K 60p video, the R7 was essentially a mini powerhouse that blurred the line between enthusiast and pro-level gear. Add in 5-axis and body stabilization, durable weather sealing, and a lightweight magnesium alloy frame, and it was easy to see why the R7 built such a loyal following. It struck the perfect balance between performance, price, and portability, the holy trinity for creators looking to maximize value. So naturally, expectations for the Canon R7 Mark III were sky high. Creators expected faster processing, more advanced autofocus, better thermal control for extended video recording, and possibly even new codecs or improved dynamic range. However, instead of teasers, leaks, or early testing footage, the camera world has been met with silence. No press statements, no product certifications, no hints from Canon's official roadmap. For a company that usually builds anticipation ahead of major releases, this radio silence stands out, and often, silence from Canon means something deliberate is happening behind the scenes. At first glance, it's easy to assume this is another case of supply chain disruption or production delays. After all, the past few years have seen manufacturers grapple with global chip shortages and shipping complications, but this time, that explanation doesn't hold much weight. Canon has managed to launch major full-frame models like the R5 Mark III and the long-awaited R1 without noticeable slowdowns. So if the company is capable of producing those high-demand, complex flagship models, it's unlikely that an APS-C camera like the R7 III is being delayed for logistical reasons. Instead, the reasoning appears to be strategic. Canon may be rethinking its priorities, not because it can't produce the R7 Mark III, but because it might not want to just yet. The APS-C market has shifted dramatically in recent years. Historically, these cameras served as Canon's gateway products, affordable entry points into the EOS ecosystem that appealed to hobbyists and budget-conscious professionals alike. But the photography landscape in 2025 looks very different. Full-frame cameras have become much more affordable, with models like the Canon R8 offering professional-level image quality for under $1,500. Meanwhile, price cuts on cameras like the R6 Mark III have made full-frame systems more accessible than ever before. For Canon, this poses a serious strategic question. Does it make sense to prioritize APS-C development when full-frame cameras are becoming the mainstream standard? The company makes significantly higher profits from its full-frame lineup, not only from camera sales, but also from premium RF lens and accessories. Every full-frame upgrade deepens a user's commitment to the Canon ecosystem, encouraging long-term investment. By contrast, APS-C users are more likely to stay within the budget lens range or choose third-party options, a less lucrative outcome for Canon. This could explain why the Canon R7 Mark III is being held back. Canon might be deliberately slowing down its APS-C development to encourage users to step up to full-frame systems. Without the temptation of a new, powerful R7 successor in 2025, potential buyers may instead opt for models like the R8 or R6 Mark III, both of which provide full-frame performance at increasingly competitive prices. It's a subtle but effective move that aligns with Canon's broader financial and brand strategy. But Canon isn't alone in this shift. Across the industry, we are seeing a similar trend. Nikon has yet to introduce a Z50 Mark III, and Sony's APS-C lineup has remained relatively stagnant as well. The once competitive crop sensor market now feels eerily quiet. This isn't coincidence, it's an industry-wide recalibration. With camera sales overall declining and smartphones dominating the casual photography space, major brands are focusing on high-margin segments that appeal to professionals and serious enthusiasts. APS-C cameras, while important, simply don't generate the same revenue potential. However, Canon's decision to delay the R7 II might also have a marketing dimension. By postponing the release, the company keeps anticipation high. The longer the wait, the stronger the hype becomes when the camera finally arrives. This tactic ensures that when Canon does unveil the R7 Mark III, it'll dominate headlines and social media attention. It also allows Canon's other cameras, like the R1 and R5 Mark III, to shine in their respective launch windows without internal competition. Launching a high-value APS-C model too close to a premium full-frame release could split consumer attention or even cannibalize sales. There's also a technological advantage to waiting. By 2026, Canon will likely have access to newer APS-C sensors with faster readout speeds, better dynamic range, improved low-light capabilities, and greater energy efficiency. If Canon were to release the R7 II now with only minor improvements over the R7, it might quickly feel outdated when these next-gen components arrive. Holding off gives Canon the chance to deliver a camera that feels like a genuine leap forward rather than a modest refresh. This approach reflects a broader change in how camera companies operate today. The days of yearly refresh cycles are gone. Instead of chasing fast release schedules, brands are focusing on fewer, more impactful launches. Canon appears to be adopting this mindset fully, prioritizing timing, profitability, and long-term brand positioning over speed. Rather than flooding the market with incremental updates, it's choosing to refine its lineup with meaningful generational leaps. For creators, this delay can feel frustrating, especially for those who rely on crop sensor cameras for their reach and affordability. Wildlife and sports photographers, in particular, often prefer APS-C sensors for their effective focal length advantages. However, the delay doesn't necessarily mean bad news. It could mean that when the Canon R7 Mark III finally does launch, it will be equipped with cutting-edge technology that sets a new benchmark for APS-C performance. Canon has a long history of perfecting products before release, and waiting might allow it to deliver a camera that truly stands out in both stills and video performance. So, while the Canon R7 Mark III might not arrive as soon as fans hope, this delay could be a calculated step towards something far more substantial. When it does debut, it may represent not just an evolution of the R7, but a complete redefinition of what an APS-C camera can be in the mirrorless era. Canon isn't abandoning the crop sensor category, it's reimagining its place in a changing market. And when that happens, the R7 Mark III could easily become one of the most important APS-C cameras of the decade, balancing innovation, performance, and value in a way that only Canon can deliver.